Okay, I'm officially recording.
When you're recording using that camera.
Yeah, I'll change that.
So do I sit here and wait and then go?
I don't like that one. I don't like that. No. Bring it on. All right. There it is.
Maybe. Where's the other one? This is your phone.
And then this.
So the people who will watch the video, can they see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just point it at the screen because I don't want to see my face.
Yeah, so I was gonna see like outside things, like podcast. IRB has not gotten back to me yet. And I only have to speak to put out the message because I don't want to have to put it out immediately after Thanksgiving because after that week,
Which one was yours?
imagine that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He seems to get back to me in bunches. Like he's just like working on the list and then coming back. I don't know. I mean, this is the busy time.
And I can't put it out on the
So, I mean, I guess if you are not planning on publishing it or anything like that, or even want to take it to a conference or something, then you could collect the data without IRB approval. We just can't do anything with that data aside from use it in the class paper. If you wanted to collect the real data, you could still wait for your IRB approval and then do that data collection and then use that data and that analysis for any potential conference, publication, etc.
Wait, like you can present a repetition paper?
Mhm.
Wow, I'm content.
Mhm.
I think I want to present it because I already, the one I did for new time last semester, I did IRB. And I don't think I want to do that, like if I'm going to do the assignments, I might as well just publish that.
Yeah. You could just collect data to do the assignments.
But if he can get back to you like today, tomorrow, Monday, that would be fine, because not Monday, Thanksgiving, but like.
Yeah.
Because if I can send it out on Monday or Tuesday.
Did you say to collect on social media, or were you gonna do
No.
like a Telestars?
I think I said.
Or like the- Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That woman Anne is pretty quick and she sends them out like separately.
Because I don't mind, the problem is I just want people to be able to do it and you have people to it out. So that week wouldn't be bad because then all I have to worry about is the results.
Mhm.
And then they're filling it out so I can have it back that week. Aside that, that week would be fine. I don't mind, even if I leave.
I mean, like I said, you can do a smaller data collection for the assignment and then still do the announcements. So like if yours is gonna be on like a Google form,
I thought for this was-
but if you just get like 30 people to
Mhm.
participate, you could write up the paper for class and then still send the announcement. So like have one, like if you're doing a Google form, have one form for like the class data and one form for the real data.
No, it's fine. I'll just wait. That they get to immediately. And you can send them like a photo, you know?
I mean, I can, it'll just go to the like defaults, that there's a student who sits there and says like, oh, we received your submission.
And, what you mean?
Yeah.
I can't call them, that's not what I'm saying.
I mean, there is, you could probably be transferred to him, but he's just gonna tell you like, I've gotta work through things as they come in.
Why? Like if they need help, why not get help? I am always having that issue. Oh, gosh.
Well, they keep hiring people and then they keep leaving.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So for communication still.
So I will tell you as we're like waiting
There's
one. All right, I'll cut that. You're on the camera. Okay. All right, welcome. We're going to talk about Flip, the personalized learning through video application. It is a video discussion board that can replace the text-based discussion boards on tools like Western Online and other platforms that you may be using from other publisher sites. So it all sort of starts with the problems from text-based discussion boards. They're very limiting in a number of ways. And if you've ever used Western Online's discussion boards, you will know how clunky they are. There's multiple steps to even set up a discussion thread. You've got to create a forum and then a thread and then a topic and then a response. And every response includes all of those pieces. And then just to find one particular person's comment takes multiple clicks in order to find all that information. It just takes way too much time to do. The other thing about the other problem with text-based discussion boards is that they tend to lead to a deal of fatigue with users. There's only so much students are willing to write and to read. And if you add in additional clicking problems and finding the content, it really drags down their interest. And they don't like having to read all of that extra content when they don't have to. The other piece that is probably more concerning is what it does for the academic performance of the students when they're engaged in these text-based discussion boards. One issue is with student satisfaction. And that's just the nice way of saying they just don't like them. They don't like doing these. They don't like reading the comments. They don't like trying to figure out when they can put their own comments in. And given the text box shape and the amount of content that's expected, they want to give short responses, but it looks like they need to type more. So they'll just generate filler content because maybe they had to create 500 words. And then they have to go and count the words because it doesn't give you that count. And they just become really unhappy and grumpy about doing this. And so as a somewhat result of that and the fatigue is that you get lower performance. They don't care about doing these discussion boards. They get on so they can post their content and not read anyone else's. If you've used discussion boards, you can see the statistics of how much content was viewed, and you will see that they are not viewed. The only thing that was viewed was the content they had to post. And if you require them to have any sort of response or engagement with anyone else, the only thing that they viewed was the one they had to click on to post a reply. And that's it. They don't want to engage. They don't want to interact with it because it just is just not user-friendly. So this is where Flip comes in. Flip is a free web and mobile app where students can express themselves on whatever topic or content you assign to them. They are short videos. It allows students to include comments or replies, and they can be either video or audio messages. They don't have to have their camera on if they don't want to. And one of the great things about Flip is that it is this safe space for students where they can privately share the responses to the prompts that you provide. And it's just really, really user-friendly. And all of the drawbacks from the text-based discussion boards like Western Online, Flip removes all of that extra stuff and just makes it super easy to use. So we're going to talk about sort of how you move through Flip, as well as some of the benefits of using it, and then turn to the actual tool itself and walk through some of the components and just the functionality of using it. I can tell you that I use Flip when I'm on my desktop computer because you can get to it on the website. I have it on my phone and I have it on an iPad, and all of them look the same. And allows me to do everything that I want to do. I can record videos, I can record responses, I can evaluate content on any of those platforms. So as I said, the Western Online disadvantages that the user friendliness is a problem. And when you want to assign students to participate in a discussion board, you have to go to the discussion board forum, you have to set all of that up. Then you have to go into your assignments or in your content in a given week and insert the discussion board topics going to happen. Go back through wherever that is hiding and whatever the decision tree that occurs under Western Online's discussion board in order to make that happen. It's not user-friendly for the student or frankly for the instructor to get set up. And it's too many clicks. I've had a number of students tell me they go to the discussion board on Western Online, they click on it on the content, and then they get to the discussion board and they would like to just enter their response, but there are still more steps they have to engage in. And the last piece that's a real disadvantage from an instructor standpoint is getting to the information that you need to show which students did what. You can export the statistics from Western Online, and it'll show you who posted, if there were replies to the content that was created. And it doesn't automatically export that over to the gradebook, whereas a quiz on Western Online will do that. Everything that you do in a discussion board is sort of self-contained, and then it's up to you to decide what to do with that information and translate that to something in your gradebook. So to talk about how to use Flip, I'm going to turn it over to one of our graduate students in the social media lab, Victoria, and she's going to tell us all about it.
Okay. Hello, I will be talking about how to use Flip and things that you as an instructor should know when using Flip and how to set up a discussion board for your students. And after that, I'll be talking about the pros, that is the advantages of using Flip. And then my supervisor will talk about other things to note and conclude. Okay, so essentially what we have here is like an image describing how exactly to set up a discussion board. Okay, so as an instructor, you would want to click on create a group. So initially, when wanting to use Flip, you can just go on Google search and type Flip and it's pull up, and then you log in with your Western email, and it's very user-friendly in such a way. It already provides the instructions for you on how to set it up and how to navigate the platform.
The app does that for you itself, so you don't even have to worry about getting to this point. So when you finally get to this point, this is where you want to create that discussion board that you want your students to reply to a topic on there. So as an instructor, you click on create a group, and for the students, they will have to join the group. Now you can already provide the link for them, and it will just take them to this, you know, place on the platform. And as an instructor, after creating the group, the next thing it would pull up is for you to add a topic. So after clicking on create a group, you click on add a topic, and it takes you to the description part. So this is where you include everything you want your students to do, the instructions you want them to follow, what the topic is about, exactly what you need from them to discuss, okay? The idea you seek for them. So as you can see, this interface is very user-friendly. All you have to do is type out what you want your students to do. You can bold a few letters, put them in italics, or you can underline whatever you want them to do, and also attach the instructions for them. And also you can add images to further describe what you want them to do. You can see here towards the right, that is an image describing what the topic is about. So you can add smiley faces, or you can even upload a video from your computer, okay, and also add links. And one good thing about Flip is that it also gives you the opportunity to include the time you want your students to speak for. And that is what we see at the bottom left of the image. So you don't have to worry about your students timing themselves or finishing way too early or too late, because it's already time for them. So they just have to respond and keep talking until they get to the time limits. And this is just a description of the pros side to Flip. So like I and my supervisor have been saying for the longest time, it is really easy to use. Everything you need is on there for you. The interface is very user-friendly, and Flip also provides instructions on what to do just in case you're lost as a first-time user. And then there are no extra settings to Flip, okay? You don't have to leave a certain place to figure out where to add something into there. Like everything is set up in a way that everything you need is on where you are already. The previous image, we saw how the time limit was already on the discussion board. So you don't have to go to a settings or go somewhere else to, you know, include a time frame or anything like that. It's set up in such a way that everything you need is right there for you. And one thing I really like about Flip, which I think is so interesting and beneficial for instructors, is the option of certification. So this image is right here. You can see that it looks a bit, you know, way too happy, way too excited. So many colors are thrown in there. So this is just Flip's way of, you know, giving instructors a reward for using the app. So you get badges for using the app. So you get certificates depending on like how frequent you're using it, how much students are replying or commenting and responding and doing everything you want them to use Flip to do. So I feel like this is very interesting for instructors. It's kind of like an incentive, like a reward for our hard work and the fact that we are taking our students into consideration and finding, you know, best ways to get them engaged in topics that we teach in class. And one thing I really like about Flip as well is the inclusion of privacy. As a student, it's kind of, you know, what's the word? Like there's this feeling associated with the fact that when you share your input or your idea on a topic and someone reads it for you, you're like, oh, I hope I said the right thing because I don't want someone thinking I'm dumb. But Flip gives you the opportunity, especially as an instructor, to have private comments. So you have the liberty to ensure that the feedback you're giving to a student will not be seen by other students. And I feel like this is so good for students and so beneficial for them, because then they don't have to worry about what other people will think about their idea, or if they're saying the right thing or not. So they know that, okay, this is strictly for just my eyes only and my instructor's eyes only. My classmates don't have to know or think that I am dumb or anything like that. So at this point, I will give my supervisor the option to continue the presentation, of which he will be saying more about Flip, and he will conclude.
Thank you very much. So it wouldn't be fair to just talk about the pros without talking about some of the cons. There are certain limitations to Flip, and I do want to be forthcoming with them. One that I have run into more recently is that you cannot force video from your students. You can ask them to respond. They can record audio only, and they can have their camera off. So you just have a sort of the old screensavers from Windows with like a little dancing blue, like that's what you'll see, and you'll hear their words. But the nice thing is that every time there is any sort of audio, it will automatically caption all the content. So you don't always get the video part, and as someone who is teaching an online class, it's actually kind of nice to know who the students are in my class and get to see their faces, and that's nice. And I strongly encourage them to turn their camera on, but I understand some don't feel comfortable doing it. So that's a little bit of a pro and con, that you can still have that privacy. The other is that, I mean, you do have short videos. The maximum length is 10 minutes, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're asking students to have a discussion, 10 minutes probably is when we need to wrap it up, right? We need to play the video music, like at reward ceremonies where they need to wrap it up time with. But the short video messages, I mean, it certainly can be limiting. And if I want short responses and I put the cap at 1.5 minutes, I might get some videos that are 20 seconds because they feel like they answered the question. And of course, you give some feedback and tell them to say a little bit more next time and gently prod them. But that, of course, can be concerning. And, the glaring piece here from the other text-based discussion boards on Western Online is that it is not integrated into Western Online, though, frankly, neither is the discussion board on Western Online. So everything that you do with a discussion board, right, you have to create a link within your course content to direct them to that particular post. You can do the exact same thing here. In fact, for every single topic, it's easy to create that link and copy it over. So on the one hand, yes, it's not integrated, but it's just as integratable as the text-based discussion is on Western Online. So at this point, I think it's useful to just go to the tool and have a look at it. So what I have here is a couple of classes that I've used, and you have the Flip certification tools that I've gone through, and I've created a test group to sort of show some things. So I'm going to go to the test group because, as I said, one of the nice things is that you do have that privacy. So I'm not going to share my students with you. I'm not sure they would like that or approve. But as you saw, right, when you just sign in, all I did was log in, and I can hit create a group. And that will give me a new group. In this case is your class. And so I can invite my class, and I can go over here to share. And this will give me the link that I can post on Western Online for all of my students to come to this page, and they can now post their content. So I can set it so it's only people that I approve who I've given this link to. And I can enter them with their email address, or anyone with the link can join. So depending on how comfortable you feel, you can make that distinction. And as you create a topic, and this was the example you saw just a moment ago, and there is a video, and then when a student comes in, they simply hit record. But I will show you a previous class just as an example because their names are mostly not here. But you can see the number of views as I move down, and it'll show me the number of comments that those views received. One of the really nice things, as I said, with Flip that gives you the same content as, say, a Western Online, is that if I want to see all of the information about discussion 6, I can then export that data, and it will show me all of the responses that were posted on that particular topic. It will show me the number of replies, and it will show me who made those replies. So it will show me the names, and it will show me the discussion topic, and who made that reply, and it'll even take me to that particular post, as well as if it was viewed by anyone and what their feedback would have been on that particular post. So if I am grading, for instance, did you reply to someone else's post? I would see that immediately. I can then look at the actual reply that you made. And if you just wrote 2 words, nice job, I don't think that qualifies. And so I'm not going to give you that point. So instead of just getting the raw number of check you did or check you did not, it allows me to make that decision based on the content that you actually posted. One more thing that I want to show that's not necessarily class specific, but one of the applications of Flip is that if you just go up here and you just click on camera, you'll get, the camera will come up and it will give you a 10-minute maximum in which you can start a new video. And it will allow you to load, I meant allow. But I can't record since we're recording here, and it'll allow you to put text over it, it'll allow you to add images over it. So if you wanted to create a short video for your online class, that you could go on here and generate it right there. You could even have the closed captions turned on so all of your students can view your video as well as read the content so that you are being, ADA compliant. And you can then share that wherever you like. You can download it, you can just have it stored on the cloud. And Flip is owned by Microsoft. So it's not some startup that's going to go away anytime soon. So it has a lot of flexibility. It gives you a lot of options that can be useful. And as Victoria said, you get to see a little bit about what you've done under your achievements. It shows you how many videos have been created, how many groups, how many responses, the number of hours of video content that you viewed. And so these are the overly colorful pictures you get to view of your sort of achievements. The final piece is that you can go under this Discovery tab, and this is content that people have made available to others on the platform. So if I know that I want a topic that is around a particular subject, but wouldn't you know it, someone did a great job already, and I can go find that resource that's been made available, and I could start to incorporate some of that. And I can find, right, the topics of the day. I can then search specific things. So if I want something about science, I can change the community, and that being the grade level. So if I want to find something that professionals are saying about science, and I have some content I could then add to my own class. So I could migrate over topics that have been tested by other instructors. So you're not on your own. You have content you can rely on. And it is very flexible. And honestly, the students like using this a whole lot more than they like the text-based discussions. So if there are any questions that you might have about using Flip, feel free to contact the lab, and we would be happy to help you. Um,